welcome to the Golden Hour plus the Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast. I'm going to be doing some sharing across the way here to give myself more of a single point of focus. I feel like I've been kind of scattered because I'm trying to do the podcast and I'm trying to do the TV show, and I just need to marry everything together. So today, you guys are going to get this. If you're listening on my podcast, or my YouTube channel, you'll get this a little bit faster than the TV show will get it. And that's the advantage of listening to YouTube or to the podcast sites. I would love it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that is something that I'm really focusing on building and spending more time. All of my content is on my YouTube channel. The Golden Hour shows up on my live section. So if you want to find everything that I'm doing, the YouTube channel is the best place to go. And that's at Manifest to Live Life Golden. That's my YouTube channel. So if you could subscribe there, that would be awesome. I'm building the subscriptions there, the subscribers there, and there'll be some things that I'm going to be offering. In fact, if you do subscribe to my YouTube channel and you let me know, I'm going to give you actually three things that you can do right now that will cause me to send you a free guided meditation. It's a self-love guided meditation, and the feedback I have gotten from this particular meditation is kind of blowing my mind. I got a message the other day from someone who has been single for 17 years and started listening to my self-love guided meditation and is now in a relationship. So we're not giving credit to the meditation. We're going to give credit to that meditation opening her up to receive love and to know the love that she is. So that self-love guided meditation is super powerful. So you can either message me on Facebook and let me know that you subscribe to my YouTube, or you can actually send a review. If you haven't read my books yet, I would highly recommend them. I have 2 books out on Amazon. You actually have to search for my name on Amazon to find them. It's a little bit buried in there. Mindful Manifestation Secrets is the first book, and that is one that will teach you the exact process of manifestation, plus how we moved from Connecticut to California, selling everything we own, and the process and the miracles that happened along the way. Reviews really help me. They really pull the books up on Amazon, and right now they are super buried. So I need some more reviews on that. And if you send me a message at livelifegolden@gmail.com, or message me on Facebook, wherever you can find me, or Instagram, I will send you that self-love guided meditation. And the other book that is also super buried is Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal. You actually have to look for books by Goldyn Duffy to find this one. I also have another one called Quantum Speak for Parents that you can also find on there if you're in the parenting game and you're looking for a way to energetically parent and to parent from a really high vibrational place. That one would really help you. So just look for books from Goldyn Duffy, and then when you read them, if you can give me a review, I will send you that guided meditation. Just let me know that you did. It really, really helps me to pull the algorithm up. So things that have been happening on my front, I've had a lot of fun things going on. I've had a lot of family. I've been doing a lot of things, some travel. I shared on my last show this great surprise that we did that I promise the video will be up on my YouTube soon, of one of the greatest surprises we ever pulled off as a family. And it was super fun. We ended up going to a family wedding. That was amazing. And then my daughter and granddaughter came in last weekend, so we had a lot of fun. I love to, if you're a grandparent, you will hopefully resonate with this. I love to just get in my granddaughter's world and just kind of be in that inner child space with her. We actually decorated for Halloween outside and inside, and I kind of let her have at it. And she's super creative, and she had new ideas, and we actually decorated a little different this year because of that. So I love that. And it was so, oh my goodness, I said to my husband, this is like we're creating core memories with her, and that just felt so good. I remember certain things that I did with my grandparents that were so, it just like makes you reflect back and go, oh, I had that yummy childhood, like baking cookies with your grandma, or, so it's fun to be able to do that with a grandbaby and to really be present and to really spend time and attention with them. I really think it actually, when you engage with them on that level, it creates a connection, like a super strong connection. And her and I have such a really strong connection that it's wonderful. It's hard when she leaves. It's hard on both of us when she leaves. All right, so let's get into this fast manifestation. Like, what does it mean to really crank the energy up in your life? And why is it that certain things are not happening for you? So, one of the things that I've noticed over the course of this year is I've done some really things that people might call impulsive. And we've booked trips and we've done things within a couple of days. Like, we've made decisions and we've been on a plane within 3 days of a decision made. Now, of course, you have to have finances to do that, yes, or credit cards at least. But at this point in our lives, we've gotten to the point of, abundance wise, where we are at a level where we are not basing our decisions on money, right? Like we're looking at doing things and creating fun and understanding that when we do things, we are actually creating currency in our life that's going to attract more abundance. Now, you cannot spend yourself into abundance, right? Because it is all based on how you feel. So if you're feeling super anxious about spending money and you keep spending money and you keep becoming broke, it's because of that foundational feeling. Remember, manifestation is based on emotion, energy, and motion, right? This wave behind me. So, in order to catapult yourself to really quantum leap towards a new identity where you are identifying with new things, you have to become brand new. You have to become brand new. And in our spiritual evolution, in our human evolution, it's not always valuable to try to take the faster route because you're here to expand and grow. So this if this show does nothing for you, like the message in this show is to chill out more, to relax more, to let go more. Because the more angsty you are, the more in a rush you are, the more desperate you are, the more you are pushing energy in the field. And yeah, you'll get there, but it's not fun along the way and it's harder. It's a lot harder. So, this is about becoming a co creator with the universe, acting on those inspirations and that excitement, and following the lead on that. So, when we were faced with, actually, this was a couple of months ago, about 6 months ago, my husband said to me, I think I've shared this before, but I'll just go over the story real quick in case you missed that episode. That wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be fun if he went to Connecticut and helped our daughter with a project? They were working on this enormous stage, outdoor stage, big deck for a movie star. Wouldn't it be fun to go back with her? She was working with someone that my husband used to work with, a really, really dear family friend. And wouldn't that be fun? And so, the wheels start turning and, we get excited. We both get excited about the possibilities. And I get excited because I'm like, well, I can go to Florida and visit my lifetime friend there who I've been wanting to see. Well, in the course of just a day, 24 hours, we decide that we actually all want to go to Connecticut, including my friend, and have this incredible trip together. Now, this is like a couple of days and we're on a plane. So it's making these decisions based on excitement, based on and watching the energy as you do it. So as your intuitions hit, I actually got you guys the definition of intuition. Your intuition is defined as the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. So, as soon as you feel it, as soon as you hear it, as soon as you think of it, as soon as the idea is in your mind, you put it into action. That is intuition, and that is you being on the train of excitement towards. So you don't consciously reason it out. You don't think, oh my gosh, it's only a couple of days away. There's no way we could pull that off. All these things, all the things that get in the way. How much money is it going to cost? Can we afford that? All of those things that normally pull you out of that intuition, you don't do that. You just move forward in a fast paced way. When you do that, manifestations come fast. You co-create with the universe fast, you see energy flow faster, and you put yourself in the greatest potential for expansion and growth because you're literally riding this wave. You're like a surfer on the wave. You're riding the wave of energy and you're saying yes to life. You're saying yes to life. My husband yesterday So we've had company. My daughter's been here with my granddaughter, and they left yesterday morning, like super early, like 5 o'clock in the morning. And my husband said to me, in the morning, he said, "Are you going to go for a walk today?" And I always go for my walk in nature. And sometimes he joins me, not very often, but lately more often, which is amazing because he is listening to his intuition as well and doing more things that are outside of just work, 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 which is so good if you can do that. If you can let go a little bit, get things situated at work. He's blessed that he has a team of people that he can situate and then he can leave for a little bit. But however, his day is crazy. He's got so many things going on. He's got so many moving parts. And he followed his intuition yesterday and he said, "Do you want to go and meet at Back Bay in Newport for a walk?" And Back Bay is about 25 minutes from me, a $9 charge on the toll road. Okay. Uh, so if I had factored all that in, I said yes, like not even thinking about it. I said, yes, it's a yes for me. You will know in your heart when things are a strong yes for you that you are following your intuition. You have this TV show, the Goldyn Hour, which you can catch on E360 TV on Achieve TV on Thursdays at noon. We go live or on my YouTube channel on the live section. That was a yes for me. I didn't even think about it. And you can feel like, oh, wait, that's impulsive. We've been told to not make decisions like that. We've been told to do the pros, to do the cons, to overthink everything in our lives. And where is it getting us? Where is it getting us? It's screwing us. That's what it's doing. It's screwing every one of us out of a life that is more, a life that could up-level us, a life that could help us expand and grow, because we're all trying to stay safe and the same. Well, I'm not. In some ways, I think I am. So I'm calling myself out on this as well to notice, because the other part of this is, I have a lot of ideas, maybe too many ideas. And many of us have been accused of being ADHD, right? Like there's this label for having too many ideas or being scattered in our energy field and not focusing. So recently I've noticed, like, what am I focused on? And what is that focus bringing me, right? So having the podcast, having two shows on the TV show, I just dropped down to one show on the TV show because it was like, it was tapping me out. I was exhausted. I wasn't feeling good. I had back pain from sitting in my chair so much. So just releasing that, actually releasing. That's what it's all about. Releasing the need to push energy and to feel like we have to do it all the time, that we always have to be progressing, that we always have to be, fighting, hitting goals, living life, like charging at life. It's not the nature of our beings. The nature of our beings is the ebb and the flow. It's to grow and then to sit back and to assimilate that growth. So right now, that's what I'm going through right now, is an assimilation of growth and really taking stock in life, going, what do I really want? And I think that there's been a little bit, and maybe you can relate to this, there's been a little bit of a shift in the ego for me, where before it was like, oh, I got to blow up my YouTube channel and I got to get on the TV show and I got to, the podcast numbers mean a lot to me. And luckily I've gotten away from, for a long time, I've gotten away from even checking how many likes I get on my Facebook post, because that was just, it was jacking me up, because Facebook is going to do what Facebook's going to do. And it doesn't matter if 10 people see it and like it or 100 people see it. It doesn't matter, because oftentimes, how often do we read a post, especially a long one, and we don't like it because we forget, because we're moving on, because we're scrolling, right? So that's not how I'm going to define what I'm doing. I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to do my best at life. I'm going to spend my time in nature. I'm going to spend my time meditating. I'm going to spend time cooking for my family. The purpose of life, the fulfillment of life is the meaning that you give to things. It's not necessarily what you're doing. It's not how many boxes you're getting checked off of your list. It's the meaning. It's the meanings that you're giving to life. It's the love. It's the joy. It's the connection. It's the presence. How present you are in your life matters, because when you're super present in your life, this is another realization I had with my granddaughter and then being back in Connecticut with my oldest daughter, is and a family, we were with a lot of family, we got to see a lot of family, is not feeling sadness because we're leaving them. It's feeling your heart is just so full from being with them. So that's a different meaning, right? When you have meanings like that, right? When someone passes away, and instead of just living in your grief all the time and missing them so much and letting that pain drive you, you shift into gratitude for the memories and the love that you shared. That actually would put you more in a vibration of experiencing them around you, whether it's through nature, through birds, through butterflies, through signs that you see. You know, I see this license plate, and I actually saw it yesterday, and it's Wolfie. And that was it was a nickname that my dad called my grandfather. So I always feel like just so touched, and I've been dreaming about him lately, so I know that he's in my field. And I don't feel like extreme sadness for my grandparents not being in my physical world anymore. I feel incredible gratitude for the love that we shared and the love that I know to amplify now with my own grandchild and my own family. So it's all about the meanings that we give to things, because this is the thing. When we give better meanings to things, we elevate our vibration, which speeds up energy towards manifestation. And one thing doesn't have anything to do with another except for that. So you could feel again. That's great. Okay, here we go. Forgot to plug in my Ethernet cord. That's okay. We're okay. I'm back. Um, you could feel super, super good about your finances and feel super, super bad about your relationships. Well, guess what? Those finances will start to come down, right? So it's all about focus and attention, and every subject of your life having a better meaning, giving it better energy. If your relationship is suffering, why is that? Are you too focused on making the finances? Do you not have balance in your life? So it's being really reflective about each thing and the way that you're allowing your vibration to come up or down. It's the way you're allowing conditions to condition you. So it's the outside circumstances that you are allowing to affect you, right? So it's funny, I'm actually taking an acting class, which is part of me kind of honing my craft and just doing something fun and being with people. And one of the things that they talk about is how your character is not based on the way that you feel. Your character is based on the way the other person feels. So that person is making you feel a certain way, right? Is this life, right? Until you get better, until you start to master your condition, right? How you condition yourself, until you master that, you will be subject to other people's vibrations or things happening, dipping your vibration, the whole thing. So when you start to live a more of a quantum perspective, more of a quantum energy field, you start to realize you being more in the spirit, more in the spiritual realm, which means being balanced in your human and spiritual realm. But being in that spiritual realm means you've got faith, you've got trust, you can turn things around, you can gain a new perspective. That higher perspective is everything. So my daughter sent me a text message today, and she actually said this several times when she was here. And she said, I should have done this during Kinsley's spring break or fall break. Her fall break is next week. But we had scheduled this trip based on the potential that we were going to rent a beach home in close by. So she was going to come for that. And then that whole thing shifted and changed, and we didn't do it. And we ended up going to Connecticut instead. So, I said to her, I'm like, those thoughts, right? That shoulda, coulda, woulda causes you misery, and it dips your vibration, and it makes you regret. So how many things are you doing that with? Oh, I should have done that, and I should have gone here, and because if you trust, if you're in spirit, right? If you're living in that more of that spiritual base, that quantum energy field, you have a trust for everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. And we don't always get to see the bigger picture of what is going to unfold, until afterwards, right? If we're good reflectors of what's going to unfold next week for her, to show her why she was supposed to be home next week and not here. So trusting in that allows you to flow better. It allows you to not be in resistance. When you're in resistance, you're not flowing energy. You're actually chopping the energy off at its head. And you're saying, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. When you say this isn't the way it's supposed to be, you're not in that co-creative energy. You're resisting it. Okay. All right. So we talked about intuition and we talked about impulsivity. So when you feel strongly about your intuition and you act strongly, aggressively, you go after something because it's such a strong yes in your field, you're going to be supported by the universe. You will see the flow of the universe. And that's how you know that you're not just being impulsive and overexcited and you're not getting all your ducks in a row, right? Like preparation is important, but I also think that preparation, I know a lot of people, I call it paralysis of analysis. They're always analyzing, or they go to school forever, right? Like I got to take another course. I got to get better at this. When you already have this incredible intuition inside of you. You already are tuned and tapped into infinite intelligence and wisdom. So this idea that we have to get all this knowledge together before we act is paralysis of analysis. And it'll cause you not to be a player in your own game. It'll cause you to really try to stay stuck and safe and the same. And that's a frustrating place to be. So getting past all of the fears and the things that are happening is a huge part of the up level. So I want to talk about up level and identity creation a little bit. I had a question about, how do you continue to up level and not like scare yourself out of it? Because up leveling is not for the weak. It's especially if you're doing quantum things, if you're selling everything you own and you're moving somewhere else, or if you're doing the crazy things. Like right now I have a family member in my life who has decided they want to live in a van and they want to redo a van. And very interestingly, they bought a different vehicle recently, and that vehicle was totaled. This, and this is the thing. Okay, totally not her, all good, But when things like that happen and it opens up a door for you, because now that vehicle wouldn't have worked. So now there's a potential to buy a van and to live in a van. Now, when we first heard this, we were like, what the heck? Like why are you doing that? Right. But now we're starting to realize I'm always supportive of what anyone wants to do. I'm supportive. I have my own energies inside, my own challenges with like, oh, is this going to work? And are you prepared? And is that a good idea? And shouldn't you not fly off the handle? And then I started thinking about it and I'm like, if it's a strong feeling in your heart, then that's the one you should follow. And no one should talk you out of that. No one should tell you that it's a bad idea, because there are no bad ideas. There's no bad ideas. If you follow energy and energy opens up for you, then that's the way to go. So it's about looking and following the energy. And if things get dense and they get really hard and you start to feel desperate, it's backing off of it. The universe never pressures. So if somebody's trying to pressure you to buy something or do something, or you're feeling pressured and it's not feeling good, back up a little bit, let go a little bit, allow some time, right? Like the universe doesn't pressure. If it's meant for you, it will be there. You don't have to do things out of desperation. You don't want to do things out of desperation. That creates a lot of muck in the energy field. So when you start to change, here's a couple of things. When you start to create a new identity, right? Like recently I've noticed like things that we used to do or not do or judge certain ways, like things are changing for us. Like we're noticing like, there's certain things that don't really bother me that bother other people, like gas prices, right? I live in California. The gas prices are like more than, but it doesn't bother me because I know that we're abundant and I know that we're creators and I know that we're going to continue to create and we're going to up level, and I'm going to up level more by deciding that than getting bummed out about the gas prices, right? Where's the vibration? Where are you allowing your vibration to dip? Are you bringing it up? Are you constantly bringing it up, right? And the thing about the gas prices that I love to share with people is, what are you going to do about it? right? You're going to go buy an electric car because guess what? Electricity is not cheap either. So, what are you going to do about it that's going to help you to feel better? You have a choice. You can feel better or you can not drive. You can go get a bicycle. I have a friend who just got a scooter. God bless her. She's got a scooter. She's loving the scooter. But if you're not going to do anything about it and you're just going to complain about it, you're going to lower your vibration and you're not going to put yourself in the higher energy fields where energy is moving faster. Now, this isn't like a show to beat you up, to say, hey, you're not in the higher energy fields, you're not going to manifest. That's not what the show is about, because there is a process to manifestation where often things happen that we do not want. So it causes us to get really strong in our desire, which comes often on negative emotion. But this is about up leveling, like continuing the up level, about not letting circumstances or conditions condition your vibration, to allow yourself to be in a foundation that is strong and solid. Doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days. Doesn't mean you're not going to get depressed. Doesn't mean you're not going to have doubts. Okay, that's all part of the human condition. What it does mean is you just start to get better about it. It doesn't last as long. You don't allow it for as long. So when you're up leveling, here's a few things that might happen. Your old identity is going to attempt to come back at you. It's going to attempt to drag you back. Anybody who has given up an addiction knows the first couple of days, that plug if that keeps up. The first couple of days are the hardest, right? But once you start to create some space from it and you start to let it go, it gets easier, right? Now, especially with addiction, those thoughts are going to come. The question is, are you going to respond the same way? Are you going to give into the addiction the same way? Are you going to give into the old ways, or are you going to say, no, I'm brand new? It literally is a couple of minutes. An addictive thought is only like literally could be 60 seconds if you distract yourself. If you keep thinking about it and you keep allowing it, if you keep letting that neural pathway be activated, then before you know it, you're back in the substance. But if you continue to drive the energy towards, I don't do that anymore, that's not who I am anymore, I go for a walk instead. If you continue to do that, it will get easier and easier. And this is about everything. This isn't just about addiction, because neural pathways, habits, loops, emotions are all addictive. So it's the same process of saying, that's not me anymore. So an unexpected bill comes. Am I going to get bummed out? No, that's not me anymore. Because the worry and the anxiety, you guys, is not serving you. It's lowering your vibration. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you the same. It's keeping abundance from flowing to you because you're not living in your faith and trust of the 800 times it worked out before. Okay. Number 2, when you start to change your identity and you start to up level, number 2 is momentum. Think about momentum. So law of attraction works both ways, right? Positively, negatively. It just works on energy. So if you're letting go of an old energy field, an old way of thinking, an old way of believing, an old way of being, right? That momentum, that wave, right, needs time. It needs time to break down. It needs time to stop manifesting, right? So there's a time frame that happens. So your old energy field may come back to you. I have shared this before, but I'll share it again. When we started to do better financially, I would sometimes have issues with my debit card because foundation, I still had fear. It's like a PTSD, right? I still had fear that I wasn't going to have enough money in my account. So sometimes my debit card wouldn't work. Was there money in the account? Yes, but the card wouldn't work. So it gave me an opportunity, right? An invitation to clear that up and to go, oh, there's plenty of money in there. That's weird. Can you try it again? And then it would work. So it's to clear that stuff up for you. It's an invitation. That's what momentum is. It's, how are you feeling about this now? Are you going to respond in the same way? Are you going to stay with the old identity? Or are you going to up level and say, I refuse to feel broke. I refuse to feel ashamed. I refuse to believe I don't have money in my account, right? So coming back to that old identity, We have to decide, are we cutting the ties with it? Or are we going to go back and revisit a little bit, right? Oftentimes we go back and revisit. What does the revisit do? It just makes us stronger in our determination moving forward to become new. That's all it does. So it's okay. Anything is okay. Anything goes. Anything and everything is okay. And this is why, because we're in a human experience. So we get to be human. And if we can stop beating ourselves up for being human and just keep moving forward, then we're going to move the energy faster. When you beat yourself up, you slow it way down. All right. And then number 3 is being super aware is great. It's amazing. Awareness is amazing. It changes nothing. It changes nothing. You can be aware and still in the same habits of thought and feelings. So awareness is great because you're going to have some progress in that, but it's not really going to change the energy field, because what changes the energy field is the emotion. So awareness, a lot of times awareness is like your mind, right? Like, I know this logically, I know this, but to feel it is something different. To feel it is to actually activate energy. So the awareness doesn't activate the energy. It just makes you aware that you're still acting like an idiot, right? Like, I remember when I used to yell at my kids and I was like, I could see myself doing it. And I was like, this isn't who I am, but I'm still being that person. How do I stop being that person? I start to breathe. I start to become present. I start to become aware of my feelings. I start journaling. I start healing so I'm not taking it out on other people. I start recognizing that everything my kids are doing, or everything that everyone I'm in relationship is doing, is because A, I'm tolerating it, B, I'm allowing it, and C, there's a victimhood in it. If I'm continuing it, there's a victimhood in it, because I haven't taken full responsibility for it just yet. Once I take full responsibility for it, then I can transform it. Then I can say no more, right? And it's not always easy, because we have to let go of things. We have to become new. And that is one, probably the biggest challenge in expansion and growth in this spiritual journey, is letting go of the humanness that we are, right? The conditions that we lived, the conditioning that we've lived, those childhood wounds, those childhood beliefs, all of those things that show up in our present day, and we think it's who we are. But to separate ourselves, right? That's why I drive meditation so hard. I have a little teaching here called the Live Life Goldyn meditation that will teach you how to meditate, or you can be part of our M21 Revolution that's on Facebook. It's an awesome group, an awesome supportive community that will help you to meditate. We have a 21-day challenge pinned at the top of that group right now. You can do it for free. The challenges are donation based. So if you do the challenge and you're feeling amazing, you can donate to us. Usually when we run the challenge, we have to have a certain amount of donations to make the energy work for us. So right now that challenge is in there and it's for you. So go after it. 21 days of a guided meditation. It's either me or my partner, Jess, guiding you through quieting your mind, creating some space so that you can start to know who you really are. Once you start to know who you really are, doesn't mean you won't have doubts, doesn't mean you won't beat yourself up, but all of that stuff will start to become less, and you'll start to gain clarity, and your intuition will get stronger. And then you'll be able to say yes to those intuitive hits without questioning it a bunch, without going through that logical mind that's always going to try to talk you out of it. Your logical mind is there to keep you safe. It's there to keep you the same. So if you're always going to your logical mind, you're probably not going to have much fun in life. You're probably not going to have much adventure, because adventure is beyond the mind. Adventure, fun, excitement, beyond the mind. We got to kick the mind to the curb if we want to do that kind of stuff. Because, when you act on your intuition, when you act strongly on your intuition, what happens is, like I said, you're not in the conscious mind, but when you're acting on your intuition, it's often crazy. It's often these crazy ideas, right? Like us surprising our kids and our family for this wedding. It was crazy. It was a totally crazy thing that we did. Like, it was nuts. It was like, oh my God, what if we did this? And then we went, yeah, Let's do it. And that excitement that started to build, and the fun and the hiding things and the acting and all the stuff that went along with it. Oh my gosh, what a great memory. I mean, that raised my vibration so much. And we experienced so much love when we were there. Like, it was so worth it. There was so much currency involved in it. So oftentimes those intuitive hits will be a little crazy. And if you share them with people, they're going to talk you out of them. They're going to tell you every reason why you shouldn't do them, because most people are not living their dreams. Most people are staying stuck and safe and the same, and they're living a life of monotony. Honestly, many people are subject to substances that just keep them the same. Many people are watching TV all the time and Netflix or scrolling social media. They're not really living to their truest potential. They're not living the preciousness of life because they're handing their life over to something else. So if you want to take your power back, if you want to take your life back, if you really want to live and reclaim what is yours, you have to start deciding that you're a powerful creator, that you're here for the up levels, that you have faith that everything is working out. And you have to start acting like it. You have to start acting as if, doing things that are out of your comfort zone, signing up for things, trusting the energy field, watching the energy field. If you have something that's on your heart and it won't leave you alone, there is a reason. There's a reason why that thing keeps bugging you, because you are meant to do it. Like, ideas that aren't meant for you kind of come and go. But the ones that won't leave you alone, that aching in your heart, that calling in your heart, there's a reason for that. And the reason why you haven't manifested it yet is because you haven't taken a step towards it. You haven't done something crazy. You haven't activated energy. It took 4 years for us to manifest moving across the country. And going back home was really interesting. Back to Connecticut was really interesting. And we call it home just because, I spent 41 years there, 42, 43 years there. My husband spent 45. So that, will always be home. But there were some interesting contrasts that just made us realize, and it was so cool because our younger two went with us, or they went ahead of us and we surprised them, but they made a full realization of why we moved them. And when you move kids at an age that's, 11 and 11 and 13, so middle school, high school, that's tough, right? And they can feel trauma from that. And then they can say you did them wrong. And, there can be this energy of, I wasn't supposed to live here. And what would have been like if I lived, back there. And going back there and feeling the energy and being in the energy field and seeing the people, and it made them fully realize why we did what we did, to open their eyes, to expand, to grow, to experience culture, to experience new places, to live near the ocean. My girls jump in the ocean every day. Like, it's amazing that they are fully grasping and appreciating what we did for them. So when it comes to those dreams, it took us 4 years to do that crazy thing because, we're manifesting, we're wishing, we're hoping, we're praying, we're working with energy healers, we're doing all the things, right? And maybe there is a readying process. There absolutely is a readying process. But until we booked plane tickets, until we made a solid and definite decision, the universe could not meet us. It could not co-create with us. And that's the biggest message in this show, is to understand that the clarity of your message, the clarity of your desire, the way that you feel, the way that you believe, the emotions that you have is what drives the energy field towards. If you're wishy-washy at all, the universe cannot deliver because it needs a single point of focus to create from. So once we did that, miracles ensued. And you can read my book, Mindful Manifestation Secrets, if you want to hear the whole story. You got to look for my name there on Amazon. I might actually move that book over to some other platform because Amazon is not doing me good. But Mindful Manifestation Secrets will share with you the exact process that we went through if you're thinking about doing something really big in your life, like moving locations or, anything big that you're thinking about doing. Honestly, it starts with one little step. It starts with one little thing that starts to activate the energy, and then the energy flows and you follow it. It's not that challenging. It's not that difficult. If things are feeling difficult, you got to rein it in because you're not working with the energy field. That's super important to understand because we are the great conductors. And if I've like not come to the realization of anything recently, so I'll just share some personal stuff. So I have had this energy and it's really messed with me. It's really messed with me and I want to be done with it. I really want to be done with it. Like I'm responding in new ways right now because I want to be done with it. So the energy of I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall. I say these things all the time, right? I'm just doing it. But every day I'm acting on my inspirations. And when things don't serve me anymore, I let them go. So, like, I'm making a lot of money doing group coaching. It's not feeling good to me anymore. It's not feeling like what I want to be doing. So, I let it go. Did it make sense? I mean, it was my income. So, it didn't really make sense. But because I've done that now, I've cleared the field for something new. And I've done this so many times in my life. And because of that, you're always expanding and growing and changing. So I have to let go of the belief that I need someone outside of me to show me what to do in order to really expand and grow and become more. That's what I have to do. Because if I keep paying people to help me to figure this out, and with that feeling of I don't know what I'm doing, then they're not going to be able to clear that up for me. And they're going to overpromise and underdeliver. And that has happened to me a lot, way too many times for my liking. So now I've got to let that go. So I'm in the process right now of just letting it go and letting it go and asking for what I want, asking for what I need, and understanding that the energy field is showing me where to go next. But in that, there's times of ebb, of serious ebb. And in those ebbs, you can feel lost and you can start to doubt. So, this is the process of identity creation when we start to let that go, which is where I'm at. I'm letting that go. I'm letting that go. I said to my husband yesterday, my purpose today is possibly making muffins. Like just putting yourself in the most highest energy field and vibration no matter what's going on. So I get really excited. I have a really good time creating. But right now, if it's not an inspired thing, I'm just pushing energy. I'm just being desperate. I'm just trying to make money. And that's not what I'm here for. That is not what I'm here for. I am here to remind you. I am here to uplift and inspire and create and become more. I am not here to take money from people, or it's just that's not the energy that I want to come from. So we start over. And that's the coolest thing that we can do because nothing's set in stone and we're not married to anything. We get to make our decisions based on each moment that allows us to become more, that allows us to become more whole. So, what is my highest excitement right now? What is my highest excitement right now? And if you're in a 9 to 5 job, or maybe you're even working more than that, I know that this may sound like weird because I have a lot of freedom to do that, right? But it's what I've chosen. So don't be mad at me for it and don't be jealous of me for it because it's what I chose, right? It's what I created. And I put in a lot of work, right? I mean, I raised 4 children. I'm at the point in my life where I get to experience, wow, what's next for me? And how powerfully can I create from this moment right here? And if you don't have the luxury of that, and I'm calling it a luxury now because there are some challenges with it, being home alone all day, looking for the next thing. What am I doing with my life? There's a lot of challenges in that, in creating and being an entrepreneur. But if you have that job and you don't have that, what can you do right now? How can you become powerful? How can you create? What can you let go of that could allow you some time to create from your freedom? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things like Even if you're in a 9 to 5, there's so many hours before and after that things can be created. And you're actually probably more productive because you're in that energy field of production anyways. So you can take advantage of that. So start asking yourself, what do you want to do? What would be wonderful? What would be a wonderful life to live? And what would cause excitement? And start answering the call of that excitement, because that excitement is what drives more. And if you're not an excitable, I'm a very excitable person. I've been accused of being a puppy dog. I'm an excitable person. And as I'm getting, as I'm maturing and growing and becoming more, I'm starting to hone that excitement a little bit. I'm starting to pull my energy field. you know, it's okay to be excited. It's okay to be excited. I'm not going to say I'm not excited, because I can feel excitement within me. Like yesterday, my oldest daughter is coming for Christmas, and we decided our Christmases have been a little weird, because sometimes she doesn't come, and for the most part she always comes around Christmas. So I'm like, well, I don't care if it's on Christmas as long as it's after Christmas, because having it before just doesn't work. Although it might now. This was a long time ago, because now I'm just like, we get to create our own realities. It doesn't matter. Like, whoever's here, we're going to have fun, right? So she booked her flights for Christmas Day, and man, did I get excited. Such a good feeling, because now I know when I'm going to see her again, and I know when our family is going to be together again, and that feels really good to me. So what is it that drives your excitement? What is it that gives you that feeling of, ooh, here we go? And if there isn't anything, then you've got to work on the foundation. You got to work on that foundation of, what am I feeling every day? If I'm in the mundane, if I'm bored, I had she was a Sunday school teacher. She was like the director of catechism. And she used to say, if you're bored, it's because you're boring, because you're bringing bored to the table. And it's so true. If you want excitement, if you want joy, if you want new things in your life, you are the creator of all of it. So it has to begin with you. Okay. Let me just see what I haven't covered. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So the up levels are based on how you feel in any given moment. So any given moment based on everything, right? On all your circumstances, on all your people, on your partner, on your children, how you're feeling about your bank account, to your mother-in-law. They're all related. You may think that you can compartmentalize your life, and that you'll be able to segment it, and that the way you feel about your mother-in-law doesn't affect your finances. Not true, because everything is based on your vibration. So everything is, and when I say vibration, it's your state, it's your mood, it's how you're feeling. It's like when you're in a conversation and you're feeling really good, and then somebody brings up a negative topic, like money or your mother-in-law. Once that happens, you dip your vibration, you're affecting everything now in the field from that place. So it's about putting yourself in a higher vibration. It doesn't mean we're like Pollyannas and we're happy all the time. It just means that we've cleaned up foundationally all the areas in our life, so that we can start to up level more. So that means you're gaining a perspective of appreciation for every area, every person, every relationship, and every circumstance in your life. So you're seeing the bigger picture. You're seeing the higher perspective. So instead of saying, oh my goodness, I only have enough money to pay my bills, you're saying, wow, I'm so grateful that I have money to pay for my bills. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. I'm so happy for that, right? So that's a different vibration than constriction, than, oh my gosh, I only have enough money to pay my bills, right? Hope nothing goes wrong, right? What's that? Yeah, that's focusing on what you don't want. So it's gaining appreciation for every area of your life and for every relationship. And if your relationships are strained, and you're having issues, and you're tolerating, and your boundaries are messed up, and you're allowing people to walk all over you, again, that begins with you. That's a cleanup process on your own. So when you begin to up level, your foundation. Meditation is going to be your guide. But then it's not necessarily being like crazy about what you're thinking, because every thought doesn't manifest, but you got to get to the deeper stuff. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? What thought is driving this feeling? If you notice that you're feeling fine and you're having a pretty good day, and then something happens and you feel yourself dip, ask yourself what meaning you're putting on that, what thought you're wrapping around that. Because most likely, almost 100% of the time, it's because you're focusing on what you don't want to happen, because you're resisting something, because you're fighting something, because you're not okay with something. And you're often projecting a future that's gloom and doom, worry, anxiety, fear, all that stuff. So can you let it go is the question. That's what I keep asking myself, like day in and day out. Can I let this go? Can I, that's an old identity. Oh, that's an old identity. Can I let this go? And the answer is yes. You can always let it go. Can I pull from a higher thought? Can I find some appreciation about this? Can I be in the energy field of more? Yes. The answer is always yes, because we are the great conductors. Now, that yes comes on the very beginning of that thought process. Once you get a little ways down the road, it's a little bit harder. It can be a lot a bit harder because of the momentum piece. So the yes comes at the beginning of the thought, of the feeling. Ooh, I don't have to think about that right now. I don't have to think about that in that way right now. I can go over here and I can think about, and it's not denial and it's not pushing things away. It's about circumventing. It's about repositioning. It's about realignment. Once you get really good at this and you start to master realignment, you'll be able to let a lot of things go that don't serve you, that don't really, really put you in a place of high vibrational living, thinking foundation. You can do this. It's not hard. It's challenging, but it's not hard. Okay, so as you realize, the fastest way to manifest, the fastest, most quantum leap way to manifest is to act on that intuition impulsively, aggressively. Say yes to life. As things come up and they feel like a yes, do it. Just go after it. Then it's letting go. The rest of it is a giant letting go process. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go of the fears, letting go of the energies that don't serve you, letting go of the thoughts and the doubts and the self-critical stuff. It's just a letting go. And the more you let go, the more those ties are going to start to break. And then they're not going to have their hold. They're not going to have a grip on you anymore. And you're going to recognize them sooner, and you're going to be able to let them go a lot faster. So this is a process that you're going to get better at, that you're going to master. And as you master that, you're going to feel better and better and better. And as you feel better and better and better, you keep elevating. You keep elevating. And then life just becomes this constant turn of events of appreciation and higher perspective and faith and trust and wonder and joy and adventure and excitement and fun. And that's what we're after. We're not here to suffer. We're here to heal and to become more and to have faith and trust so we can co-create with this beautiful universal energy that is always loving us, always supporting us, and that we are an expression of. We are an expression of all that is. So we can't get this wrong. It's all a beautiful play of our own production, and we get to create it through the foundations that we decide for ourselves, for the stories that we decide for ourselves, for the beliefs and feelings that we drive. I just feel like that's the best news ever. I'm going to leave you guys with that because I feel like it's the best news ever. We're in charge. We get to create, and everything that's happening around us, we get to respond in a way that creates something new. And that is the best news ever. All right, you guys, that's my show for today. So this will go live on the podcast super soon, probably some point today. And then it'll be on the TV show a little bit later. So you might catch this one on a rerun, but it's always good to watch these shows more than once because you're evolving and you're growing, and so am I. So these messages are going to hit in a different way at different times. So it's good to listen to these over over and over again. Just like everything else, we always need reminding. So it's all good. All right, you guys, I love you all. Thank you for being with me, and peace out.